Welcome back to the channel. We're going to do a quick restring of this Stratocaster. It's a repeat customer of mine, and I did dress the frets and polish them and gave him the whole 9 yards before, and now it's just in for a restring. He took the strings off, and I don't know if he was going to do it himself or whatever, but he decided to bring it to me. So I'm going to get to that, but before I do, thank you. I really appreciate that. So let's set this thing up and you can come along for the ride. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll check everything over, make sure there's nothing loose on it, make sure all the tuners are, oh, there's one that's loose. Make sure everything's tight on it and look it over really good. We'll get these strings on here and we'll get this thing ready to go. Okay, so you saw that I tightened up the tuners. They were a little bit loose. And the buttons, I made the buttons so when you turn them, the tension's all the same. I don't like when one's loose and one's real tight. I cleaned up the bridge here. I cleaned up the jack. What I'm going to do now is plug it in and check the pots. Okay, that's all good. Nice and quiet. Cool. Perfect. Quiet. I like that. Now would be the time to take the pickguard off if you had to clean the pots, but I did it before on the initial setup, which was everything. Okay, we'll move along now. Okay, now I took the strings off, so it's a little hard to stick the strings in there, so I'll have to use a little trick there. So now they line up. All right. So I like to get them all close, and then I start stretching the strings. And people are always like, oh, my guitar won't stay in tune. That's because you don't stretch your strings. A little bit more. As the string gauge gets smaller, obviously I don't pull as hard because I'm not going to break the strings. I just want to stretch them. That's where you see something like that. I think it's called a string butler, and you stick it on the headstock of your Les Paul or SG or a guitar like that. What a waste of money that is. Just learn how to stretch strings. See, now we're getting into lighter strings, 11 gauge. I'm not going to be yanking on it so much. Still needs to be stretched though. And then our little 9. So here we're going to have it resting on the body, but still be able to use the bar. So now we're going to do the intonation. We've got the tuner here, and basically what happens is you tune the guitar. You usually do it like that, like the playing position. Like if you hit an E, get it in tune. And then, I don't know if I can do this with one hand. Then you hit the note. It's kind of hard to do it with one hand. But what happens is, when it's in tune, in the middle, you tune it open, and you get it right in the center. And then you play it at the 12th fret. And then if it goes sharp, that means this saddle needs to go farther away, just like the same direction as the tuner. It's going to the right, sharp. So this has to go that way. And if it's going left, obviously, this has to go that way. So that's pretty simple. So I'm just going to set the intonation right now. All right, so now I'm going to use a little bit of graphite under the nut right here. So here is the action. And at the 12th fret. So she is all ready to go. So that is the quick setup on this Fender Stratocaster. And before you go, maybe you could consider. Thank you, that really helps. I really appreciate that. And I hope to see you again. Take care. Keep playing the guitar.